Zeynabu here, and I know you saw the title, but guess what I'm doing? The Q&A video. Act like you're surprised. Yay! Okay, y'all. So, if you're not aware, I have been doing VEDA. Some people say VEDA, I say VEDA. Okay, and it means a video or a vlog every day during April or August. So for me, it means a video every day during August. So since the beginning of August, I have been doing my very best to post at least one video a day. Sometimes I kind of cut it close, but I think I've been doing pretty good, y'all. So we are now on the 26th day of VEDA, which means we only have a few more days left and it'll be over. And at the beginning of VEDA, I posted a video where I requested questions from you all, and I said that if I got at least 5 questions, then I would do a Q&A video before the end of August. Well, guess what? I got more than 5 questions. I got more than 10 questions. Y'all did an amazing job asking questions. Thank you so much. I was so nervous because this is my first Q&A video, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm requesting questions. If nobody asks me a question, I'm just gonna look so silly. So thank you so much for asking those questions. If you want to check out the video where I did the request for questions, then I will link that right up here for you. Okay, so if you're curious to know how I'm going to answer these questions, then stay tuned. So what I've done, y'all, since I have more than 10 questions and I don't want the video to be too long, and it still might be too long, but I don't want you to have to sit through a long video. I have listed all of the questions beneath the video, so all you have to do is open the down bar, and the questions are listed by the name of the commenter, okay, in alphabetical order. And then before the name of each commenter will be a time interval. You can scroll over that time interval, it'll turn blue, and you can click on it, and it'll take you to the specific part of the video where I answered that question. So if you just want to hear the answers to your questions, check the down bar, or you can sit through the entire video. Alright, so let's jump right into it since I'm done with that extra long intro. Right, y'all, so the first set of questions comes from Allie Alii. Hey, Allie. And so Allie says, if you did not do YouTube, hair, tutor, sew, what would your career be? If I had to choose something other than being an entrepreneur, then I would go ahead and fall back on my degree. I do have a bachelor's degree from Texas A&M University's Dwight Look College of Engineering, and that is what I consider my cushion because I really enjoy being a full-time entrepreneur and just delving into all of my creative abilities. But I do know that there might come a time, God forbid, but there might come a time where I cannot continue to do what I do. So if I ever need a quote-unquote real job, as people call it, then I do have my degree to fall back on, so I would probably do something in the engineering field. Alright, second question from Allie is, what are your thoughts on this? Is the man better because of the woman, or is the woman better because of the man? Well, Allie, I would say it should be both ways. In a relationship, well, in a healthy relationship, let me say, I believe that everything should be reciprocated. So if the man is making the woman better, then the woman should in turn make the man better, and vice versa. Sometimes one person might have to start first, but it should always be reciprocated. If it's not reciprocated, that's a one-sided relationship, and if it's a one-sided relationship, I don't believe that it's healthy, and I'm sorry, but I don't think that it's going to last. So it should definitely go both ways. The mutual love, care, respect, and everything else that both parties have for one another should consequently allow them to make each other better. Okay, question number 3. Do you believe men and women of different faiths can have a successful marriage? I do believe it's possible. I believe it might be difficult, but it is possible. I also believe that it depends on the faiths. By faith, sometimes we think, you know, Christian, Muslim, Jew, things like that, but some people have a faith to where they just say, oh, I believe in being good to people, I believe in smiling, being happy, but they don't necessarily believe in a higher power or a supreme being. So if you're referring to a relationship where you have someone who believes in a supreme being and someone who doesn't, that might make it kind of difficult. And also, if both parties do believe in a supreme being, but they practice different belief systems or lifestyles or religions or deans, then if they have children, it might be a bit taxing on the child to figure out what they should follow. So while I do believe that it's possible, I think that it'd be very difficult. And just a side note on that, when my husband and I first got married, we didn't have the same faith. I have always believed in a supreme being, but I did not actually start practicing Islam until after we got married. So we got along fine, but I do have to say that I feel like our marriage really blossomed after I accepted Islam and really found myself and learned more about myself. And I feel like my husband and I meshed even more because then we had Islam, we had Allah as our adhesive in our marriage. So it became a lot smoother. And Allie's fourth question is, what is the most important advice that your parents have ever gave you on love and marriage? I would say that this question has to be my parents and my grandparents have an influence on me in this area, and it was more of a visual thing, not so much verbal. I remember seeing my grandmother, may God rest her soul and give her paradise. I remember seeing how she would cater to my grandfather. She would fuss at him when he needed to be fussed at, but she would cater to him, and she worked and she cooked and she cleaned and she took care of us, her immediate family. She took care of people down the street literally that needed food and clothes, and she was just really amazing. So by seeing the things that she did as a wife, I aspired to be how she was. And another example was my mother. My mother I've always seen her as just this really strong woman. She dealt with a lot. I witnessed good and I witnessed bad. And by witnessing the good and the bad that my mother went through in her life, it let me know what I should and shouldn't accept as a married woman. The most important verbal advice that my mom has ever given me, I would have to say, was to not be afraid. When I first married my husband, it was either directly after we got married or right before we got married. I can't remember, but I remember being on the phone with my mom and I was telling her how I felt scared. And you know, she's a mama bear, you know, she's thinking, why am my baby feeling scared? Oh no, it's nothing to be scared of, you shouldn't be feeling scared, you know. And I guess maybe I had used the wrong word. Perhaps I should have said I'm feeling nervous or nervous excitement, but I was afraid of the unknown. I had never been married before. I didn't want this man to turn into a beast. You know, he was just my knight in shining armor. But I've heard so many horror stories of people getting married and then after that the person just turns, and I'm like, I don't want him to turn into a bad person. But fast forward 7.5 years later, and I still believe that marrying my husband is the second best decision that I have ever made in my life. The first best decision was accepting Islam. Allie's fifth question is, have you ever felt like you were being judged because of being Muslim, and how did you respond? Well, I felt judged for being Muslim, but the positive kind of judging, if that makes sense, because we all judge, and sometimes you can look at someone and you think nothing but good things about them, and sometimes you look at them and you have all of these negative things. So I feel like when people say the word judged, there's automatically a negative connotation that comes along with it, but I don't necessarily see it that way. I believe that you can judge someone in a positive manner. So I believe that I have been judged more so in a positive light rather than a negative light because I am Muslim and or because of the way that I present myself. So I always respond in a positive manner because I feel like it's positive. The few times where I probably was judged in a negative manner due to me being Muslim, I walk away. I walk away because part of Islam teaches you to be peaceful and to avoid what you can avoid. Now, if somebody comes for me, I'm going to come for them. Like we gonna go tit for tat, cause like you know, I'm not gonna go there in this video, but we can go tit for tat. But if somebody does not directly come for me, if they're just being very passively aggressive because of the way I look or because they think that I'm Muslim, I just ignore it. I brush it off my shoulder because it's not worth my time, energy, or effort. So that's just that. Allie's sixth question is, last question. What is the strangest thing you have ever cooked and you just knew it was going to be terrible and you actually loved it? LOL. Oh my goodness. You know what, Allie? If there was something that I was really going to hate, I probably wouldn't even put in the effort to cook it. So to answer this question, I can tell you about some strange things that I've eaten that I thought was going to be really bad, but that I really loved, because I can't really think of anything strange that I've cooked that I thought was going to be terrible. So one example is octopi. My husband took me to a Japanese seafood buffet, y'all. And I'm brave. I'll try pretty much anything as far as food and drink once. If it's not pork, if it's not an intoxicant, if it doesn't go against my spiritual and religious beliefs, I can try just about anything, okay? So I'm in there, I'm looking at stuff, looks kind of weird, but I was like, I think maybe I tried octopi when I was younger, so I was like, let me try it again. Y'all, I picked up the little baby octopus with the little with the little chopsticks, and I tasted it, and I absolutely loved it. But I just knew that it was gonna be disgusting. I was like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be slimy and the little tentacles, and oh, it's gonna be nasty. But it was so good. It was so good. Actually, I think I have an old picture on my Instagram from it that I can show you all right here. Okay, so yes, that is a bowl of octopi. Octopi is the plural for octopus, if you're wondering why I'm saying octopi. But y'all, I love it. And so now every time he takes me there, that is pretty much the first thing that I eat. It's really, really tasty. The second example would have to be yogurt. I remember a few years back when I was working in an office building, they had this little kitchen area and they had a refrigerator where you can go in and get snacks whenever you feel like it. And I guess one day I was just being brave and adventurous, and I said, well, I've been hearing people talk about yogurt, let me try yogurt. And I still remember that the brand was Yoplait, and I want to say that it was like blueberry or blackberry, something like that, and it had like granola and stuff that you could put in there. And I put it together, I stirred it up, and I was like, this is gonna be so nasty, because I hate milk. I'm lactose intolerant and I don't do milk, and I've always believed that yogurt was just like spoiled milk, basically. So I was like, I know this is gonna be nasty, but everybody is raving over yogurt, so I have to try it. Y'all, one spoon, and I was hooked. I was completely hooked. I'm not kidding you. And from there, I went to the store, and y'all, I bought different types of yogurt so I can figure out what I liked. I talked to people on Facebook about yogurt brands and stuff. Like, I was all into yogurt. And so for months after that, almost every day, I would get me some yogurt. I figured out that I like Greek yogurt over plain yogurt, so I would put me some Greek yogurt, some type of fruit, some granola, and some honey, and I would mix it up, and you couldn't tell me that I was not 5 steps away from heaven. Like, I loved yogurt, and I still love yogurt now. Okay, so moving on, the next commenter is Baldy Haven. I'm sorry, I probably said that all wrong. Let me try again. Baudi, if it's Arabic, Baudi Haven. Come on, help me out. Make a video and tell me how to say this. I love foreign languages, and this sounds like it has an Arabic twang to it. So let me know how to pronounce that. Baudi Haven. Okay, enough of that. So B Haven says, how are the plants doing that you found? Now, I did answer this question already in the comments beneath the request video, but I'm going to answer it on camera because I told y'all that I would answer y'all's questions on camera. So a little while back, I posted a video about some plants that I found. If you didn't see that, I will link it right up here for you. And in that video, I showed you all 6 plants that somebody had abandoned at the dumpster. And my husband went to the dumpster, got them for me, brought them home, and I was taking good care of them. But I think I became a little bit neglectful. And my babies pretty much died, y'all. I left them in the sun for too long. People were telling me that they cannot have too much direct sunlight, and I figured, okay, maybe I should bring them in the house. And so I remember bringing one in the house, and then I remember getting so busy that I just kind of forgot about the plants outside, and I didn't water them like I was supposed to, and I didn't protect them from the sun like I was supposed to. So they pretty much died. I'm so embarrassed. I don't even want to show y'all. But they have a little bit of life. About 3 of them have a little bit of life left. So I'm going to do my best to revive them, but y'all, I didn't do so well. I feel so bad. I mean, I feel good because I got them from the dumpster, but it's like they would have died either way, and I didn't do as good of a job as I thought I would. I love plants and animals, like I really do, but I'm gonna have to do a better job. So that's an update on the plants. And then Behaven asks me, do you work out? If so, what type? Do you make or buy the products that you use in your client's hair? Thanks for your good energy, sis. Peace and blessings. You're so sweet. Peace and blessings to you too, sis. Do I work out? No. sad face. I was working out, and y'all, I didn't keep up with it. I didn't, and I feel so bad because I do want to work out. I know that I should work out. I feel great when I work out, but I just haven't been consistent with it. So by you asking me this question, it is boosting me to start working out again. When I was working out, I was just going over here in our apartment complex. We have a little gym, and they have weights, and they have a treadmill. And so I was doing like squats. I was on the treadmill. I was doing little weights. Y'all, I was on it. I put on my little tennis shoes. Yeah, I was on it. I was on it. But I wasn't consistent. So if I start back, inshallah, God willing, I'll just be doing maybe some squats, some treadmill, maybe some running outside. We'll see. We'll see. If I do, I'll make a video and I'll tell y'all. Okay, and then she says, do you make or buy the products that you use in your client's hair? Both. I enjoy making products, but I don't always have time to make the products and test them out before I use them. So sometimes I do buy products, and I buy the all-natural products. The products that don't have a lot of additives and parabens and artificial colors and all of that bad stuff and all the chemicals. I stick to the natural products for my clients because I want my clients to have the best. So I am Rally Girl. Hey sis. She says, hey sis, what is your primary career? Are you a full-time artist? If so, how did you get into it full-time? I love to be a full-time artist and wear my regal wear like you, 24/7. Thanks! Okay, so my primary career is that I am an entrepreneur. I consider myself to be a multifaceted creatress, and I enjoy delving into my multiple skills and talents that God has given me, and I'm doing my best to make them lucrative. Are you a full-time artist? Most of the time, people that are on my path, people call them artists. So even though I don't call myself an artist, other people might see me as such. If so, how did you get into it full-time? How did I get into it full-time? Well, I did work in an office setting for a while, and I've had quite a few quote-unquote real jobs, as people call them, okay? I have worked for the House of Representatives. I've worked in 2 restaurants. I worked in 2 daycares. I have been an RA, a resident assistant. What else? I've been a customer service specialist. A home health care provider. So I've had a lot of jobs, but the last quote-unquote real job that I had was being a customer service representative, and y'all, I felt like I was in a cage. It really was not for me. I was not happy. I did not like someone giving me rules and regulations and being able to do so simply because they were paying me. So I figured, well, if I can pay myself, then I can follow my own rules. So I made sure that I was smart about it. I didn't just jump away from my regular job and jump into being an entrepreneur. I made sure that I had both at the same time. While I was working there, I started my Etsy shop. And when I got my first sale in my Etsy shop, it really boosted my confidence, and then the sales kept coming in, and I was like, okay, this is working. And then after that, I started to venture into other avenues to see how I can have multiple sources of income. Once I got that set, I said, okay, I think I'm pretty good over here and I can drop this. So then I left my quote-unquote regular job and I went into being an entrepreneur full-time. One of the things that really allowed me to do that and not really worry about where money was going to come from to pay bills is my husband. He is a wonderful provider. So he pretty much handled all of our finances while I was doing my whole transition. So I'm grateful to have the type of husband that I have, to where he takes pride in taking care of us, and that gives me room to pursue all of my creative talents and do whatever it is that I need to do. So that's how I do it full time. And the next question comes from Inubia Roden. I wanna believe I said that right. Nubia, that is so pretty. Inubia Roden. I just love your name. That's why I said it so many times. It sounds so pretty. Hey Inubia. She says, the music intro got me like straight out of Africa. Can you interview Muslim SiStars on how they navigate corporate world? Also, what about health and fitness as a Muslim woman? What are your tips on this and living a balanced life? Love from the Middle East. Hey boo, she's always commenting. Okay, so can I interview other Muslim SiStars on how to navigate corporate world? I think that's a great topic. If I have a larger audience and have more people that request something like that, then I would definitely consider doing that in the future. What about health and fitness as a Muslim woman? Tips on living a balanced life. So I'm kind of into health, y'all. Okay, so if you watch my videos, you know sometimes I'm on a health kick and then sometimes I'm not. So I feel like I'm pretty balanced in that area, but I could stand to be a bit more healthy. As far as fitness, like in a previous question, I don't currently work out, but one thing that I do, I'm always moving. Like I'm always moving around. I don't just sit in the house. I don't just sit still. Even if I'm sitting still for too long, I get up and I move around and I have to do something. Okay, so I would say as far as fitness, if you're just not getting started, if you feel like you just need to move, just get out and walk. Literally a walk outside. I do that sometimes if I feel like I just want to get my bones moving and my blood flowing. Okay, I believe that getting out, moving around is very important when it comes to fitness. Even if you don't have an actual workout routine, just don't sit in the house. Don't be stagnant. Don't be a couch potato. Just get out, do something, get some sun. I would recommend that. If I do get a actual workout routine, then I will definitely share that with you all. As far as being healthy, it's a mindset. You have to start choosing foods that you know are healthier for you. Like I said, you see my videos, sometimes I make, well, a lot of times I make healthy choices, but sometimes I go ahead and have fun and eat whatever I feel like eating. So I feel like it's all about being balanced and enjoying life and being happy, but not eating things all the time that are completely bad for you or that have a low nutritional value. So some things, when I was first starting out, what I did was I replaced white rice with brown rice. I replaced white bread with wheat bread. I replace white sugar with natural cane sugar. I now choose more organic items than unorganic. I eat more fruit and more vegetables than what I used to, and also drinking more water. So those are just some small things to start off with. I might do another video more in depth on something like that, like how to get started being healthy. I'm not a health guru, but I have started to be more healthy than what I was in the past. Okay, and then Michael Worthy says, I have just one question. With your permission, can I cartoon you? Draw you as a cartoon. Now, I already answered that beneath the video, but like I said, I told you all that I would answer your questions in the video. So yes, Michael, and you already know that I told you you can do that, and I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited. And so Seed Harvest says, peace and blessings to you, Queen. I am a recent subby to your channel. The energy you emanate, even through your YouTube content, is beautiful beyond words. I would like to know how Islam came to you. Were you raised Muslim, or did you realize it was written on your heart later in life? Also, what influences your unique, vibrant style? Thank you. Peace be upon you. Oh, you are so sweet. You are so sweet. Peace and blessings, Empress. Oh my goodness, I felt your vibe through your message. I really did. MashaAllah. That was so sweet. I was not raised in Islam, but the word Muslim actually means someone who submits to God. So if we want to be technical, sometimes I'm technical, I was raised as someone who submits to God. The belief in a higher power, the fear of a higher power was embedded in me at a very young age, and my grandmother taught me how to pray very early on. So I've always reverenced a supreme being in my life. I did accept Islam later in life because I was searching. I had been soul searching. I wanted something more than what I had. So for a while, I just considered myself spiritual. And then I feel like Islam found me, and I studied it, and I felt that I could definitely apply it to my life. Prior to Islam, I was in a dark place quite often, and so Islam has really given me a lot of light, and I'm very, very grateful to Allah for that. Then she says, oh yes, what influences my style? My style is influenced by how I feel. I dress the way I dress because this is how I feel. I don't really know how else to explain. I've had questions like this before, and it's very difficult for me to explain because I just wake up and I wear what I feel like wearing. I grew up seeing my mother dressed very Afrocentric and beautifully. She wore these beautiful colors and patterns, and she always covered her head. And maybe that's where I first fell in love with this type of African or Afrocentric aesthetic for beauty. I was never much into the European aesthetics of beauty. Straight hair or certain types of clothing. It just never was really for me. This was more for me, and I saw my mom look like this first. And you know, as a young girl, the closest female to you is going to be your blueprint for what a woman should look like or be like, well, majority of the time. And so my mother was the closest female to me, and I saw her dressed in a very regal and beautiful manner, and I guess as a young girl I just copied her, and it stayed with me through my entire life, and I've just gone above and beyond with it. But this is me, this is how I feel pretty, this is how I feel comfortable, this is how I express myself. Yeah, so okay. And then Savvy Serena says, I have a couple of questions. Who was the first YouTuber you ever watched, and your favorite YouTuber? Y'all, I've been watching YouTube videos for a long time. I cannot remember the first YouTuber that I've ever watched. I believe maybe the first few videos I really got into on YouTube was about how to start your own locks and how to maintain them. And then from there I started to do my own locks. I also learned how to sew on YouTube. I learned how to crochet primarily from YouTube. So just a whole bunch of stuff, but I can't remember the first person. My favorite YouTuber right now, I don't have a favorite YouTuber. I watch a lot of different people, but I gravitate more towards the smaller channels, people who are humble, people who respond to comments. Not all comments, but at least engage their audience. I do like some of the bigger YouTubers with the thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but I find that it's kind of hard to make a connection with them when they have so many subscribers. So I like connecting with people that have channels that are like mine, small and very humble, but I don't really have a favorite YouTuber right now. And then the last question comes from Victoria. She says, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam, sis. What about a draw my life video? Thank you. And so I did try to respond to your question here and also on another video, but it's something in your settings that won't allow me to respond to your comments. So you might want to check that out. It's on Google Plus, and you can change that or do something to where people can respond to your comments. The Draw My Life video is something that I will think about doing, but I'm not very good at drawing, not even stick figures. So it's kind of daunting for me, but that's a very cute question. I'll consider it, but I don't know if I'll do it. Okay, y'all, so that's all the questions that I have. If you have any more questions, you can comment beneath this video and I can type out answers, you know. I don't know, I might do another Q&A video a few months down the line because this was pretty fun. But I will definitely chat with you if you have anything that you want to ask me, or if you have a specific question where I can answer it by doing an entire video on it. I don't mind doing that. Like a few of the questions that I read, because I don't want to make this video 2 or 3 hours long, I might take about 2 or 3 of those questions and do separate videos on each one. That way you can really get your questions answered, especially the one about how I came to Islam. There was another one about the health and fitness thing. I think 2 people kind of asked that question, so that was pretty good. And then about advice on love and marriage and successful marriages and relationships, stuff like that. I might take those questions and spread them out and do videos. So y'all are giving me really, really good topics for videos to come in the future. So thank you so, so much. Thanks for watching. Peace, blessings, love, and light. God be with you. Don't forget to check the down bar. Bye!